I'm going to start the bot, so Alex, you may want to turn it down because it might explode.
Okay. Yeah, it's already turned down for me because I also use
Okay.
Jockey in my other games. So yeah.
I just had too many people respond to me starting music by, oh my god, why is it so loud? So,
Nice. Okay, so to introduce the character and how he looks, right?
Yep.
Okay. So basically, Atrax is a Leonin, male Leonin, and he's pretty tall. I would say above 2 meters tall, just a bit. Um, by the way, should I use Imperial or Metric? Because I'm used with Metric, but in game we're gonna use Imperial's system. So basically he's like 6'8" in Imperial or something like that, if I remember correctly. He has white fur. He's all covered in white fur with a nice overflowing mane from around his neck. He would be. He doesn't have any battle markings or of the sort because he usually gets them healed. He doesn't like to have any scars and stuff like that. Doesn't have any tattoos either, and yeah, he usually wears nice clothes, like nice vestments, unless he goes into battle, to which he just kind of wears some tunic for battle. He doesn't wear any armor because he is accustomed to fighting without any armor. As for equipment, he has a great sword. The well, that would be actually detail for later. And he does have two-hand access to his sides. And apart from that, he seems quite tough, but he's actually just a big bundle of joy with the heart of gold, trying to do better in his life, being on a quest of rescuing someone for now. So yeah, I don't know if that's all right for an introduction, but that's what came to mind.
yeah, no, that is great. Yeah, this is and something that we do every week, generally, just to sort of get started, like it's warmed up. But yeah, luckily this week it was a kind of introduction question. So, Caligula, no pressure. You don't have to go immediately, but it's up to you whether or not you want to answer this question or if you want to wait until the character actually shows up. But we just rolled the question. Describe your character's current appearance, clothes, armor, and scars that they've picked up along their journey. So just a basic description, really. And we've heard from Artrax, but Camilla, how about you? And welcome, Caligula, as well. But yeah, Camilla.
Oh yeah, that's a oh man, like let's see. How does she look? Well, can't even recall how high she is. Oh, she's relatively high. Well, that slender, what's called the slender, pale skinned, elf-looking woman with white hair and well, some long fingers. Then some burn scars in like at the eyes from well, I think that was the dragon she's currently wearing. I can not even recall how that armor looks. But pretty much hide armor. Yeah. And at her left side is two swords. A preferred weapon, and I think that's pretty much it.
Nice.
All right, we've got a new name in the chat. So yeah, we usually just go down the line. Are you ready to give a description for Saga?
I would prefer to wait until I get formally introduced.
Cool. Then we will move on to Svenja.
Okay, firstly, check mute. Okay. So Svenja's dressed like a typical shield maiden, so leather armor, breastplate kind of thing, wearing a cloak, skirt that allows her to, or sort of leggings, boots, and so forth. She's right now coming at the end of the battle, and although her armor is blood splattered and burnt and all sorts of things, her face and hair and arms that you can see are clean and unscarred. So she has just shifted back out of the Valkyrie form, and if we're immediately after the battle, that adrenaline and power for, or the lust for power and blood, that is the thing that she struggles with, is gradually slipping out of her body. She has a shield. She has a spear with tentacles that was looted off a sea god in a battle a little bit earlier in the day. So yeah, shield maiden with spear. She also has over her back a lyre. She is nominally a bard and the party entertainer, but she has actually not had a chance to lose the lyre in battle. So that's Svenja.
Jormund is the next Viking warrior you'd expect to see in the line. Viking helm, dripping with chainmail, pelts over his shoulders, over a steel plate, and a shield and longsword in each hand. What's particularly more interesting is the almost as tall, actually about as tall wolf, grey wolf, trotting alongside him with a prosthetic leg. The wolf wears his winter coat, adorned with grey, and right now they are both dripping with mud, blood, and other bodily fluids.
So, what about Mikil, who, not sure if you're in Foundry yet, but the question tonight was just a description of what you're looking like after the battle.
Can't remember what my HP. Mikkel was looking quite bloody and battered. It was a very long and drawn out battle. He looks as he usually does. He's got the typical Viking clothing you'd see, so a hide of, I don't remember what it's called. My bad. But he's got, a hide jacket and words are escaping my mouth. Yes. And then he's got a kind of look, trousers. On his belt, he's got a hammer, and then he's got a sea axe, a short sword, and then a quite magical looking shield in his left hand.
Yeah, I think that gives us a pretty good look at who we're dealing with here. But as last time, quite a lot has happened in the past while. Svenja, have you got a recap for us?
Yeah, I think so. Let me zoom out of the specifics of the last battle, and maybe just for sort of Alex and Caligula, or for Atrax and Saga. The last session was the culmination of almost the first chapter in our story. We had traveled around the local area, doing some quests, making some friends, and got wind of a major raid being planned by a couple of nearby settlements, combined with the previous chosen of the sea god, chap by the name of Ailson. So we've spent quite a few sessions fighting these invaders. We had set up a battle plan where they would first be attacked on the beach in our watchtowers, and we would then withdraw further up the map. If you can see that, towards a bridge and a graveyard, where we had put some of our troops. As a sort of a second battle, we were trying to thin out their forces. So there was a pretty big battle there with quite a lot of undead giant, which turned out to be an ice giant that was previously friends. So that was an epic battle. We then pulled back next to a wall near the village, where we had a further epic battle with attacks on the wall and the ballistas from above, and more of the armies throwing themselves there. As we defeated that, we fled. We moved towards the east on the map, towards the lumber yard where the final showdown and battle took place. And interestingly, there was a shinobi. We previously encountered ninjas, which were pretty devastating almost to us. There was a shinobi that was leading them, that had engaged specifically with Svenja about her lack of awareness or control and over the power that is trapped inside of her. So she's seen by them certainly as abomination that should be felled. That did not end well for him, and essentially in the last session we played, we were cleaning up the armies and some of the champions that were left. At the end of that, we had essentially routed the entire raid and had overcome. We had lost one of our lieutenants or senior leaders and quite a lot of troops. But when you join us, we are at the end of the battle. There are, if you look around, there are the Dragon Tooth fairies. There's some grung. There's no lizard folk that came and helped us. There's a whole bunch of druids and forest creatures that had come to fight in the battle, and we are surveying the dead and taking care of them and preparing to feast.
And to that point, as we join you now, the battle has ended at about 2 o'clock in the morning. So most of these troops, as much as everyone has been riled up, a lot of you are exhausted, and there is much to be done before the actual feast can begin. So the feast will be starting that evening, but you guys have got basically the day to rest up and for them to start clearing the battlefield, doing whatever needs doing, so that everyone can celebrate properly tonight. So you guys will essentially get a chance to long rest. But is there anything that any of you would like to do, as pretty much all of you here were involved in that battle, but just anything you're doing right as it all ends, and as you kind of go to take your first breather for a while?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Svenja. Will take a level of exhaustion, but she will not rest until she has spoken to all of the leaders and the survivors of the supporting armies. Had comforted those that had lost people, made sure that the brave warriors had gone to Valhalla. So she will be really spending the time strengthening all of the relationships and thanking all of the people that had come to help. So this is her inner politician, for want of a better word, as advisor to the Jarl, making sure that everybody is seen and recognized. I mean, there is going to be the feast, but she's going to personally go around, and it's quite a big area to cover. Going to personally go around, help stragglers, thank people, etc.
Yeah, and this could, the inner politician may be coming out more and more with what we've got ahead of us, but you can give me a persuasion check to see how receptive everyone is to this, because yeah, for the most part, your side of the army is doing pretty well. You did lose a few, but the battlefield is littered with the bodies of the enemy. It is definitely looks like it was a one-sided battle.
Oh, that was so close to a nat 1. Unfortunately, it's flipped to 7. It's an 18.
Yeah, so you definitely feel like there are good relations to be upheld here, and you get the impression that the people that fought with you today are especially thankful that they were on your side and will most likely come to fight at your side again. And a couple of the survivors, you will bring a few of them over to your side, people that were not quite as invested and have they know when they're on the losing side. So you will gain a few new allies to bolster your ranks going forward. But most of the leaders that were leading these armies have been killed, and many of the others have fled.
We do
What-
have
what is-
one.
Sorry to interrupt. What is our view around prisoners versus mercy versus? I'm all
Slaves.
for mercy.
Well, Yeoman, you do have the one captive there who you managed to capture, and are you bringing them back into town, or are you guys still discussing this before is he even going to make it back to town? I guess is what I'm asking.
Well, what does everyone reckon?
So notwithstanding her general current bloodlust, Svenja is very much a fan of alliances and networks. So I would be inclined towards saving them and making them, in sense, swear an oath of fealty or non-aggression. So that would be their choice. So you can stay and join us, or you can swear an oath to not harm us again and leave. Or the third option is Yormund and Shepherd. And Shepherd has a thing, as we know, for.
Yes, but Svenja, look at this guy, and Yorman will just kind of like pull his hair back so he looks up. Does he not look familiar to you?
Oh shit!
You can give an insight check there, Sven.
Yes, I am remembering something vaguely from there. Insight, not the best, but let's see how it rolls. 10. Nope.
You've never seen this man before in your life.
So just sort of look at look at him like no. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, Yormut. I'm fucking tired. What do you mean?
Yeah, well, I see someone's fucking likeness in him, and he just pauses, looks down at him, and just wonders. You know what? Take this guy out of earshot. I don't want him to hear this.
You see, he looks utterly confused, but glad to be alive, and doesn't speak, but just goes along. whatever you're telling him to do right now.
Looks like fucking Ursula.
Oh. Oh shit.
Have you forgotten her so fast?
No, I haven't. I just did not. I mean, he's not screaming, shouting, killing stuff, and he's a bit taller. So,
Yes, but I don't know. You don't see many people's doppelgangers.
mm,
It's in
that's
the bone
actually worth
structure.
investigating.
Sorry, DM.
That it's in the bone structure that you're seeing these similarities. It's like there's just this was chiseled by the same artist, you know.
You're slightly exaggerating. I don't know. I don't particularly care for what we do with whoever's left. You can handle that. If you need a sword, call me. Otherwise, I'm gonna go wash. And Yorman will go bathe in the river for a couple minutes.
Okay.
I mean,
So
Miller,
it's-
anybody else have any view around prisoners? Yeah, we can round them up. Those that haven't fled, round them up. Those that need healing, we could then offer them healing. Or so no other strong views. We will incorporate those that look willing. What I think we will do is probably get a few clerics to cast a circle of truth and make them ask them their intentions and make them swear an oath of some sorts, just to build back the numbers of some of the people we'd lost. Okay, so that's I guess Svenja plus prisoners. Passing the mic over to Camilla, Mikkel.
yeah, are you guys doing anything before the feast tonight? As the battle comes to an end?
Meekin would probably just be at the forge, ready to fix any weaponry that needs fixing or sharpening any tools before the feast.
Camilla will be looking for a place to park her new frog.
Yeah, you can give me an animal handling check to see if you can tie it up without it bolting off into the forest. It's heard of your reputation.
Its croaking is like it's like a truck's reverse sound.
Maybe
Yeah,
just
and
the
it's not an elk, so it might survive this.
Yeah, we'll say you managed to tie it up outside the longhouse, and the locals will start putting all their meat barrels around it to chill the meat for the feast tonight. And what about Artrax? Is it Artrax or Eltrax?
Atrax.
Yeah, Artrax. So you would have been there when a lot of this battle was going down as well. So what would you be doing as it has come to a close and you can see everyone preparing to celebrate tonight and just clearing the battlefield and whatnot?
Just so I understand better, did I came with those druids that you've told me about, or just kind of by myself and participated?
Yeah, you would have arrived with the druids, and the turtle that I told you about. His name I couldn't remember. Yeah, you would see that they are on the battlefield, and the stone wall that where you guys were fighting has kind of been held up by vines that one of those druids was able to cast during that battle. But there is a turtle druid named Rosk who you will see is currently celebrating the victory and going up to all the druids that came with you guys to congratulate them and make sure everyone's okay.
Like this, Rusk. Or
Whoa. Hold on.
I put it in Mordia campaign, the name. I'm not sure if he
Ross.
with
Yeah,
okay,
like-
Ross. Like that. That. Okay, let me type it in just so I have it. Well, in that case, Atrax would probably go to his turtle companion and seeing that he starts to. You said he was starting to celebrate and bring people together.
Yeah, you just see him slapping people on the back that have probably seen better days, but is just trying to bring some merriment to the battlefield.
Atrax would probably just go over to him, being a bit scared to not see him alive at first, but then he sees his large frame and just goes over to him and says something along the lines of, "Rosk, well, that was quite a fight, my friend. Are you all right?"
Oh, I'm doing quite well. You're telling me. Do you see what they were doing up there on the wall? A strange machine they have there. I didn't see you. Did you manage to have some fun?
Have some fun, so to speak, yes. Some cuts and bruises, but nothing too serious on my side. And he continues, Val proved to be more than useful this time, and he points towards the greatsword that he's holding. Yeah, he gave it a nickname like Val or stuff like that.
Well, I'm sure that the denizens of Browdovik will be happy to keep it sharp for you after what you've done here today. Well done, my friend. Now, we go find a drink. I've heard that Browdovik knows how to throw quite the party.
Oh, certainly. We can certainly do that. And maybe after that, we can discuss with the leadership a bit about, my issue.
Yes, I'm sure the Jarl will be happy to help you after all that has happened here.
I would be glad to receive the help.
And he will walk with you back towards the town as everyone gets to go take some time and get a long rest before tonight's feast.
Nice.
On your way back into town, though, one last thing, Svenja, are you taking the prisoner back into town?
Yeoman's Ursula prisoner or all the others?
Yeah, that the one that looks like it.
Yes. If Yeoman is like, okay, looks like Ursula, now it's your problem. Which is very Yeoman-ish. It's like the sort of shit that he
Do
would
you
do to
want to
Sven.
be the politician?
I
Yes.
deserve that, don't I? Yes. So can she sort of interrogate him or talk to him or question him as they walk in? What is he willing to disclose? Start with your name. Is he sort of dwarf size? Ursula was kind of dwarf size, right? Am I confused here?
You know that Ursula's mother is a dwarf. That's Neilmere, the stonecutter in Broadwick.
Yes.
And this man is definitely not dwarf. He looks human.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah, she was also a tiefling, which he is quite clearly not.
Okay. So she would start, I guess, by asking him his name and why does my colleague think you look like a friend from our youth?
My name is Ragnar. I've never been here before. I don't know how you could possibly know me. If that is the only reason your friend has spared me, then let's hope it's true.
Do you remember having a dwarven lover, girlfriend, wife about 20 years ago?
You see him, he stops in his tracks and his eyes go wide. He says, "What? Yes, but they were lost at sea. It has been so many years."
Do you remember her name?
Of course. It was my first wife, Nilmir. She was the love of my...
And he looks up as the two of you are walking into town, where in the distance you can see Nilmir walking out of her shop, and you see that she is holding something in one of her hands, but both of her hands are like blackened. It looks like she's been working at the blacksmith rather than her usual trade. And you can see that she has both been crying and probably sweating profusely. She looks like she's been hard at work, and she definitely wasn't on the battlefield. But you can see her walking out into the street and kind of looking around as you were just entering the town with him. You see he's frozen, like he's just seen a ghost.
Okay, so awkward. I have switched note-taking system, so I haven't got the old notes accessible. She's not married. She didn't remarry, did she?
No.
Okay, fantastic.
So you can make a history check if you want to remember what Ursula might have told you about.
Yeah, let's do that for fun. But
and if anyone else is coming back to town around the same time, feel free to jump into the scene. As I mean, you're all kind of making your way back together.
Okay, that's a good roll. 24.
Yeah. So with the 24, you would remember that Ursula's father was lost at sea, like on the way to Broudevik. So they were kind of taken in by Broudevik after he was killed, but that was pretty much all she knew about it. It was, she had always claimed that he was dead, and there was never any question about that. But it seems now that he may have just been on the other side of the bay this whole time.
Well then, no time like the present. So Svenja would sort of just whistle out loudly to Neilmere to get her attention and sort of with her elbow push Ragnar forward, say, go to her.
You see him kind of stumble a bit as her eyes widen, and she like looks shocked for a second, and then she just slowly starts moving forward and breaking then into a run, and then she's in a full sprint, and you just see her like charging towards him, and you see him take a small step back as as she approaches, you notice the look on her face is one of rage. She does not look happy to see him at all. She is running full tilt, and you now, as she gets closer, you hear her swearing in Dwarvish, just things that cannot be repeated in the common tongue, as she is making her way as fast as her little dwarven legs will carry her, seemingly to attack him.
Ah, shit. Hmm. Senya is preparing to trip her up with her spear or something like that. And she would sort of raise her hands and shout at Nilma, "Stop!"
You will see
and-
her almost blindly ignoring you, like running in to try and just throw a punch at this guy who's also now putting his hands up, and he's just sputtering. He's not making much sense, but he's also kind of trying to stop her. But you can see she is small enough, you would easily be able to kind of catch her. She looks like she's about to throw everything she has into a punch at his jaw.
I am going to let her take the first hit and then grab her.
All right, yeah. So with a crack, she knocks him off of his feet and onto his back. As you kind of pull her backwards, she thrashes in your arms, just trying to get at him, and you hear her just again swearing in Dwarvish and then shouting, "Ragnar, you bastard! It's your fault that she's gone. I'll kill you!" And you see her just continue to try and get out of your grip.
Convey intention cantrip. So I'm going to, while I'm holding her, I am possibly actually strong enough to just lift her feet off the ground, but convey intention is Senya is going to position herself between Ragnar and look at her and say, you will listen, we will talk, and cast that spell. There's no saving throw. It's like the creature instantly understands the idea, capable of doing so. So I guess it's just, I don't know how does that play out? Let's make it a persuasion at advantage or something.
Yeah, sounds good.
So persuading.
Just to be clear, you're aiming this at Neilmere. You're trying to persuade her.
Correct. I'm persuading her to calm down and listen and talk.
So yeah, with that, you'll see she kind of gives in to you holding her back and just kind of collapses into your arms. You see she is crying, and she tells you that it's his fault. He's the one what put that devil curse on her. I thought we were rid of him for good. And now she's gone and he's here. And you just see she is distraught. But he just looks bewildered and is saying, "I'm sorry, I didn't know."
It does not look devilish to me.
He's no the devil. He made a deal with one for his firstborn. And when we ran from the devil, he came to get us, and he sank our ship. I thought he'd dragged that bastard down with him, but it seems he left us all to live.
Well, he spoke of you as his first and only love. I would like to say I haven't done stupid things. I'm too young to say stupid things. I'm sure I am going to do stupid things. What would you need from him?
You see her through stuttered breath is going to turn away from him and look at you. and she's going to sort of push the thing that she was holding in her hand just into your grasp, as she says, "I don't know, but give me some time. Bring him to the longhouse tonight, and maybe we'll see. And this, I'll explain this later as well. But hold on to it, yeah?"
Okay, so you look down at what she's gotten and then say to Ragnar, "Well, that went well. Let's go get you cleaned up. And while we're walking, tell me about why you were fighting on the other side."
So yeah, as you guys continue on, and Neilmere goes back to her house, he'll kind of give you the rundown that he didn't have any real authority, that he was just a soldier following orders. As the feast is prepared and the day goes on, where later in the evening, amid the rugged beauty of Braudevik, the village starts to celebrate with the fervor of victorious warriors and the warmth of new allies and kindred spirits. You will see that the longhouse is adorned with colorful tapestries, with this frozen frog standing outside by all the mead, and shimmering shields, some of them battered as soldiers have come back and hung their shields on the wall that made it through this battle. As the longhouse resounds with laughter and merriment, torches flicker and bonfires blaze, casting an amber glow over the jubilant faces of all of Bradovik's townsfolk. Some fresh faces, some you haven't met before, and some who you have most of you have known your whole lives. But now we finally join you guys in at the Longhouse. You should all be on the map, but yeah, it's up to you when you would like to join the scene. Whoever would like to tell us how they are arriving to the feast, and yeah, what do you guys want to do?
So I would like Atrax to arrive a bit late with Rusk after he gets cleaned up and kind of goes to clear his wounds and stuff like that. He would go with his turtle friend to the longhouse.
Yeah, when you get to the longhouse, you would see that Ross would go and meet up with an elf and two human druids, and you would see that the druids are busy speaking with the elf, and she is thanking them for coming to the aid of Bradovik. You would know that she was here when you arrived, and she was the one that kind of sent out the call for help. Her name is Victoria Ireland. You'll see she's to the top left of your token.
Yeah, I got it. Victoria Arden. Okay, as I find Rosk. Friend, so I found I think that you are well now, right? Should we join the celebrations now that the fighting is over?
Yes, come, grab a drink. I'd like to introduce you to some of the friends that helped us with our little bandit problem not too long ago. I think I see some of them arriving now.
Oh, and he looks around a bit.
And who does he see first arriving at the party there, as you guys are all kind of can enter simultaneously?
Why does my token?
Oh, my bad. Fix that.
Oh, okay, it's not me this time. That's good. Where Carmela? Let me see who is. Yeah, I think Svenja would walk up to the longhouse, and she has taken off her armor. She's wearing a very finely woven tunic that her mother had made. She has braided her hair in a very formal Viking style. Yeah, almost like her mother would wear if she's advising visiting foreign dignitaries and things. She is carrying the spear as a sort of a symbol, but she's definitely ready to make an impression and party hard. So that would be her walking up to the longhouse. So I'm not seeing Atrax and the others. Hang on.
That's
Over
that's
there.
what he is.
Okay, so she would walk over there and go check in with the druids and everybody, and maybe just ask to be introduced to Leonin. That she has probably seen somewhere on the battlefield. Although the druids
Mhm.
were not under her command, it was who was leading the druids? Was it Camilla? You were.
I think
Leading the
Reva
druids.
was who you see standing there now as the
Yeah.
NPC now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Reva.
But you would have seen him. You definitely would have seen the Leonin fighting in the like from the sky. But
Yep.
yeah, I don't think you've met at this point.
So as you approach, Atrax will kind of raise a hand and awkwardly wave towards you, like he normally does.
You said he's very tall, if I remember.
He is, yeah, he's like above 2 meters or like 6'8"
Okay.
in feet.
I think she's relatively. This is how long ago did we look at her? She's sort of normally height, 5'7" or something. She would definitely look up at him, and I think she would have heard of Leonin, but you may be the first that she will see. So she's like, okay, you will possibly discover the hard way that she's insatiably curious. Most of the people, hey, when you tell me more, most of the people that know just like, sorry, I've got to go paint the house or something. But she would be very happy to greet you and say, I saw you fighting on the battlefield. Very impressive. There are so many questions I'd like to ask you, but now might not be the time. And then introduce her. I'm Svenja, Ingvald's daughter, by the way.
He will nod and he will extend a hand to shake yours and just says, Atrax Zarhu, a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Have I noticed her as well on the battlefield, or?
Probably as what you would have seen is there's a whole bunch of Valkyrie spirits that were flying around, and she's been either flying on a hippogriff as part of that, or sometimes, depending on where you were in the battlefield, she would have engaged on ground combat. There were two noticeable. There was a fairly big explosion in the graveyard, which was her Lena Bailson. There is still a big crater there, and there was a fairly big in the timber yard, a fairly big release of magical energy as well. He would definitely, if he was anywhere near that,
I think I fought, so Atrax fought near the shield wall or something like that, if I remember correctly, Dev.
You fought near the stone wall, so you would have
The
fought with
stone wall.
Carmilla. You would have seen Carmilla and Yormund and Mikil. I think those were the three that you would recognize here. But I will say to Svenja's point, when you see them walking in, and Svenja in particular, you will see all of the other random soldiers and guys that are walking around here. They will all be giving you congratulations as you walk in, grateful nods and just cheers, people like calling your name, just raising a horn as they see some of the heroes of this battlefield. And yeah, Svenja in particular, you are getting high praise from a lot of these folk.
Yeah, so she may be slightly uncomfortable with that if she was trying to hide the Valkyrie trapped inside of her from everybody, but this battle is obviously everybody now knows that this beast manifests and does terrible things. So she's not quite sure what the reaction is going to be. She's accepting the thanks and the glory, and it might be an intense conversation with the Jarl tomorrow, but for tonight, party hard.
Nice. Atrax will say something along the lines of, I think I noticed you at one point riding a great, wonderful beast in the sky, but just barely. I was too busy staying alive.
I am sure you'll get a chance to meet Nightwing. And thank you, and she like for all of the druids. Thank you for helping again. Okay, so I'm feeling as the player too much airtime for me. Looking around, who else? Carmilla, anybody else staying around? Kind of wave.
It will be at this point that Camilla just walks in. Pretty much the same outfit, except cleaned up a little since, well, gotta look good. And then just walks, looking like at all the new faces, or, well, those that she hasn't seen before. Sees the druids and is like, well, you did good. And, I don't recall seeing you on the battlefield. Speaking to Atrax.
Well, the battlefield is quite large, and usually the people you meet are there to be your enemies, and probably send them to Valhalla if they were good enough, of course. But I was there, like I said to your friend, trying to stay alive and maintain my lucidity in the battle. How was your side of things? I might Trax, by the way, and he extends a hand again towards you this time, Carmilla.
Well, she takes the paw, I guess it's actually...
Yeah, it's like a more humanoid hand, but sort of somehow imitates a paw to some degree.
Yeah, well, it was pretty eventful. I must say, some of them was disappointing. Especially the guy. And then she realized, like, oh yeah, she still has that, like, attached the head of one of their leaders. Oh yeah, this guy, he was pretty boring, boasted a lot, but...
Oh. Atrax looks a bit surprised. You carry those around you? With you?
Nah, normally not. I just was like, better than them stealing it back, so it would be safer with me.
Victoria says over the other conversations, she says, Carmela, what have I told you about taking a head to a party? You've got a whole room at home for those.
Well, I guess. But he said he was feeling lonely. So I thought he could come with us to the party tonight, and then we can put him on the shelf where he can be with the others.
You see, she exchanges looks with the other druids, and she says, well, I suppose you've earned your glory tonight. Well fought today, daughter.
Well put indeed. Now, I understood there was something about some sort of celebration that you must enjoy after the fields are full. But after that, I would like, and he looks at both, at all the people around to some degree. I would like to speak to the Jarl if that's possible. That's the leader's name. I mean, the title, the Jarl.
Yes, yeah, Jarl Niklas. So so we'll sort of take a quick look around and see if he's around. Absolutely. Is that serious business? I think he might be in a very celebratory mood, but serious business. I'm sure, given your assistance today, that he'd be very happy to hear you and see what.
That would be great. Though I don't want to impose anything. Maybe we can just mingle around, talk with the others, and then when all things are said and done, follow the future plans that he has for us, and maybe can offer me a bit of help with a personal issue, if I help in return, of course.
Yeah, I cannot speak for him, but I think he's be generous with favors.
He nods. He nods.
For a while.
Yeah, it's understandable.
I mean, what I guess what you would have picked up from the battle, Brodovik itself is actually a fairly small town, and we would definitely not have survived from the druids and the dragon tooth fairies, Goliaths. So it's abundantly clear that the reason we won the battle was because of the emphasis rather than Bradovik's inherent martial capability.
Understood.
Yeah, it's not a massive fortress, heavily clear, a Viking trading town. There's people living there making stuff. It's on one of the routes. A fair amount of merchants and trades coming through, but it's not a military outpost or a castle by the sort of the traditional standards.
Yeah, got it. No, I understand that. Yeah. Well, Atrax will try to kind of look around and look at Carmilla and say, there were others with you who fought alongside you, right? Other brave warriors. Can I also meet with them? And maybe with the others that have contributed to this great victory?
That should be possible, unless Diamond has found some water. Then he most likely drowned.
Oh. That would be unfortunate.
Camilla, you will see behind Ultrax, I'll get it eventually. You will see behind Ultrax that on the side there are a few people standing over 3 bodies that have been lined here. Some of the heroes that actually fell in this battle. And you can see that some of the people you know are kind of standing, drinks in hand. They're kind of trying to honor the dead, as that is the more somber side of the party.
Mhm.
But also, when you were walking up here, Saga, I think this would be a good opportunity to describe your character, as I think you have gone sufficiently unnoticed thus far. But what do we see? Perhaps lurking in the shadows, or just enjoying the party with everyone else, as the merriment is palpable here.
So this art looks nothing like her. I just picked the first one on D&D Beyond, to be honest with you.
That's cool. We can
But
update that later.
she has been lurking in the shadows, I would say, this entire time. She's a half elf, sort of not merely pale, but also like pallid, like she looks a bit sickly. Um, she's got sort of like dark, matted hair that's shorn short at the shoulders and tied off in pigtails, and she's wearing clothes that make it obvious that she does not come from the wealthiest background. Sort of a multitude of like patches and scrap fabrics sort of sewn together. Um and she does not appear to have blinked for like this entire time. And she's sort of keeping to the shadows. She hasn't really made conversation with anyone. She's definitely staring at some of the dead bodies a little too intently. But other than that, I don't think she's purposefully tried to make herself known.
Yeah, probably blending in quite well here with all the people that are going around. And you will see now a massive wolf approaching, as Yormund and Mikil, you guys join the party here, and see also some unfamiliar faces.
Yeoman's just initially gonna catch up to Mikkel, soaked but at least in somewhat clean armor, lightly stained armor. He'll say to Mikkel, I didn't see you on the field. Where were you?
I was trying to man my fucking ballista, bro.
Oh, you were on the ballista.
Yeah. Because my troops got attacked, and someone had to man it, you know?
You know
But I
what you
saw
need?
you.
You need
What do
some
you
better
mean?
men.
I need better men, yeah.
Make some
I-
armor for them.
True. I'll do that once I got time. But we gotta win this war first. Speaking of which, how's your armor holding up?
Looks down. Yeah, it's alright. No, go back for a second. Yeah, we've kind of won this war. It's done.
True.
Did you knock your head? Are you alright? Look at me.
Bro, I've been looking at flames for the last, like, since I arrived back.
Your woman's
broad, at
gonna
least.
check. Your woman's just gonna roll a medicine check and see what happens.
Yeah, please roll a medicine check to inspect his bloodshot eye.
11.
You know, maybe I did hit my head when I was on that wall.
I mean, I'm no good at amputations, but if you want me to try.
Only if you don't want armor or weapons ever again.
Sheaths his dirk.
Oh yeah, should have brought cleaner clothes. Like you're covered in soot and grime.
I washed off in the river.
Fuck that, I can't be asked.
He looks. Gorman looks at the river a mere 30 feet away.
And there's ale like 30 feet the other way. It's like,
Ah, you want to drink? Is that it? All right, let's go have a drink.
yes, obviously I want to drink.
As you guys are walking up, can Saga, Mikil, and Yormund all please give me a perception check?
Utterly clueless. No idea.
Dirty
Oh.
20.
Oh. It's still
Yes.
better than mine.
Okay, nat 1 with a 12. I love this.
That's a good way to start the campaign. The natural one. Can only go up from here. Okay, so
Unless
oh wow. Okay, yeah. So as Yormund is speaking, and Mikkel, you notice him walking directly backwards into Saga, who is totally going to get blindsided by it. But how is it that you kind of avoid him just bumbling straight into you?
Well, I think without looking, she just sort of sidesteps and then steps back into place.
To which, oh, who did we just lose there? Was that Mikkel?
yep.
Of course, brilliant time. So, Yormund, it sounds like that's how you're announcing yourself now. Is that
Yeah.
you've got the cat already?
I'm sorry.
So, Yormund, as you were making your way up towards the um, tavern, you nearly bump into someone completely unbeknownst to you, as you are probably noticing the giant who was standing next to the tavern, also kind of looking a little bit sheepish and just looking over all these small folk, like confused at his newfound life. But as you careen past the Saga, you are actually going to knock into one of the other soldiers then instead, who, as you hit him, he drops his drink onto the guy in front of him, creating a sort of chain reaction of people that are making their way out of the tavern. And as rowdy as these Vikings already were, without any action going on, you, Mikil, with that 20, and oh yeah, and Saga with the 28, of course, you are going to notice what looks like a fight breaking out, as in playful Viking fashion, you see fists starting to be thrown, and this whole energy of violence starts to fill the air. Still just as festive, but what are you guys doing as you notice some people throwing punches?
I am grabbing myself a drink and then I'm watching.
Yeoman, having no idea, is just profusely apologizing for him and his wolf bumping into everyone. Shepard, of course, has no idea. He doesn't mind.
He's just happy to be there.
Yeah. He's gonna get some meat, hopefully.
I think I'll sort of definitely like not try to intervene and just watch the entire thing break out. Notably not drinking, just sort of standing there serenely, unbothered.
Are you going to try and instigate them as well a little bit, just as as the chaos is breaking out around you, and you're just kind of happily watching it all go by?
Yeah, I think she'll sort of like subtly try to influence people, just like nudging them as they go by, like pointing out specific people in the crowd, like, hey, you seen that guy before? Just sort of for her own enjoyment, clearly.
Yeah, you see someone throw a drinking horn at someone's head, and it clocks them. They turn around to look at you and just point out someone else entirely, and they dive back into the battle over there. But at this point, as this is breaking out, I'm going to ask everyone to roll for initiative.
Oh. Okay.
As this, throughout the longhouse and outside, there are a lot of troops out here, and there were already some tests of strength going on here and there. Some people just some light wrestling, some of them arm wrestling, things like that. But at this point, the bar brawl is spreading, and you are caught in the thick of it.
Quick question. How do I roll for initiative?
So on your, if you right click on your token, you should see the
Mhm.
little crossed swords. If you click
Yeah.
that, or you can just even there's a couple of places where there should be a button that shows up. Also, if you press E while you have your token selected, it may do it automatically, but it will open up a little sidebar that you can use to quickly take a look at your sheet.
Oh, all right.
And there should be a roll initiative button in there as well. Otherwise, you can just go to the combat encounter tab and
Yeah.
roll.
Got it. Thank you. Ooh.
Okay, so as as you see this fight breaking out on the inside, I mean on the outside, you will hear the fight continuing to spread inside, as this is kind of from the doorway. You now hear the whole longhouse seems to be shaking with the battle that is going on inside there, and you know that that's where the Jarl and all the food and mead is. So not the place you want to get destroyed right now.
Mm-hmm. So it's my turn.
It is now. Yeah, sorry, it was them up first. I'm just making everyone visible.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure because I didn't know if you ended that with expecting me to say something. So sorry.
No, that's cool. But you're up now. Yeah.
So you did say the Jarl is in the longhouse. Well, Atrax having this interest of meeting the Jarl, maybe even impressing him a bit more than he did so far, he would try to go inside and try to kind of put things to rest to some degree, to as much as he can. I mean, he will throw, he will try to wrestle people to the ground or stuff like that. And maybe if he sees the Jarl, actually, what does the Jarl do? Does he participate in the whole pit fight, or how should I call it?
At the moment, you don't know. No one has been inside the actual longhouse yet, and that's where he is. But from the sounds of things, there's a new war happening in there. It is. You can hear things breaking, like you see a guy get tossed out of a window. The chaos is erupting.
Okay, I will try to go. Atrax will try to go inside. Where can I go inside? From where can I
The
go
door's on the
inside?
right hand side of the building, so you kind of have to go through the where you see the spine.
Oh, gosh darn it! Can't I go inside? You said somebody was flung out the window. Can I go inside through there?
Yeah, of course, that's me saying that there are windows on this thing. Yeah, there actually aren't any windows, so I don't know where you would jump in, but it seems like there's only one main entrance, and that you're going to have to go through the brawl. I will say, after the fight that you've had, this looks like a bit of fun rather than any
Yeah,
actual
no, definitely,
danger.
definitely.
But
But
you can see that there is a lot of people standing between you and the Jarl.
the thing is, I do have the wing boots, so I can actually use them to go above everybody else and just kind of go fly around the longhouse and get into the entrance. I don't know how much. I think I have a flying speed equal to my normal speed, and if I dash, I get 90 feet.
Okay, so are we seeing a Leonin soar above the crowd as the tavern brawl breaks out?
Yep. Let me see. So if I go straight or around the giant, how do I break it like this? I think.
So you are going to, as you are flying overhead, a broken bottle is going to come flying through the sky at you, trying to knock you out of it, just as an
Okay.
opportunity attack as you are leaving their range.
Yeah, definitely.
That is a 14 to hit.
That's a miss. Yes. So if I want to move my token, do I press space now?
And no, I think you can just let go.
Press space, yes. In
Oh.
that way, yes.
Not sure how you measure that like that.
Okay. Coolio. So that's where I end up, but I will be a bit in the air. I will say something along the lines of to Carmilla and Svenja, oh, I'll be right back. And then you'll see the Atrax just kind of, what's the word? Tapping on the ground with his boots, and then you see him flying away.
You see the drink that was thrown at him miss him completely and hit the giant instead, who takes a step
Oh,
forward
no.
and gets involved in the brawl.
Oh no.
But Mikula, I think that takes us to you.
Does one join or does one not? The answer is yes. Okay. This
Was that even a
one's-
question?
This one's closest to me. I'm gonna go over there. I'm just gonna start throwing fists. I don't care who gets them. They can catch these hands.
That seems to be the motto for everyone here at the moment.
Incredible. And now once more. God damn. Actually, I should have played Shield of Faith. Oh well. That'll be my turn.
Shield of
Yeah.
Faith.
So what does it
Yeah.
look like as you wade into this chaos? I will say these are swarms, so they can occupy the space of another character. So you can kind of move through them and they can move over you. But yeah, what does it look like as Mikkel gets in there and knocks some people out?
Mikkel was just trying to get his drink, and then suddenly there's just a tankard flying for his head. It hits him on the noggin. I'm like, all right, y'all are getting hit. He just pulls up his sleeves, still dirty with oil and grime and soot and whatnot, and just starts throwing hands.
Just as you said, that pretty much goes exactly as you explained. Yormund, you are also going to you're going to get a small bar stool swung at you. Ooh, that's a 22 to hit.
Oh. Yep, that hits. Oh.
You take 17 points of bludgeoning damage as you are caught in the thick of it, and people are just piling on top of you at this point. But with that, we go to your turn.
Wow. Who does 17 points of damage with the bar stool?
No, it's the whole horde of them. So.
Alright. I thought I just got hit by the fucking frost giant.
Yeah, maybe. That's who was wielding the bar stool.
He just threw it into the crowd. Happened to hit me. Yeah. Yormund is actually, you know what? He doesn't mind that much. This is fun. He's going to swing his shield wildly at someone who has a tankard in their hand and try and take it from them. Nice.
That'll hit. You can target it.
Oh. Forgot to target it this time, but
Yeah, that's cool.
yep, I hit someone in the head for 6 bludgeoning damage. Take their tankard and just try and lead myself and Shepard through the mob into the longhouse.
Okay. Is Shepard getting involved as well?
No, I'm gonna actually try and keep a tight hold on Shepard so he doesn't rip someone's throat out.
I mean, you're walking through a full-on Viking bar brawl, so he's definitely going to get all riled up. You can make an animal handling check to try and see if you can stop it.
I'll make the check, but
I mean, he's not going to like frenzy or anything.
yeah.
Okay, yes. As you're walking through, you actually manage to clear a path. As it seems, as drunk and rowdy as these guys are, they're not that dumb to pick on the giant wolves.
I'll let Shepard nudge into someone so he can have just a little bite. I think it's fair Shepard gets his fun too.
You guys walk into the one side of the crowd and walk out, and Shepard's just holding another suspicious.
Oh my god. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yep. Come out the other end, see Shepard has someone's hand again. And after remembering last time, he's not going to think about it any harder. Good job, Shepard. You did it. Now let's go have a drink.
You hear someone screaming, "They just grew that back!" Yeah.
Sucks for him.
But Saga, that takes us on to you as you see a man with a bloodied stump run out of the brawl, crying.
I would like to cast Pass Without Trace on myself. Let's let's cast it at level 2, obviously. And then I would like to leave.
You're just gonna walk through them completely unnoticed.
Yeah, basically.
Duck a bottle here, just dodge a few ruffians there. Yeah, you can give me a stealth check with a +10. Yeah, absolutely. Where would you like to go? No one seems to be getting in your way or noticing that you're even in theirs.
I would like to go, I guess, if this is happening outside, I would like to go inside.
Yeah, so you can tell that the entrance is up to the right, where the others are also headed there.
Okay. Then I'll move over there.
Okay, so you arrive on the other side of the chaos next to the giant wolf who's carrying a limb and yeah, being led to the tavern.
And that will be the end of my turn.
Okay, cool. How long does Pass Without a Trace last?
I think
I think it's an hour there.
1
1
hour. Yeah.
hour.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you will be sufficiently able to do the mysterious hooded figure thing for a while. But Svenja, this chaos is breaking up right behind you. What would you like to do?
I noticed that you have this thing where I am never wearing my armor to the bloody longhouse, and you do this shit to us. So
Maybe you should keep your armor on, you fucking Viking.
The
armor
longhouse is dangerous.
yeah. Not really. Two options. What should I do? This one requires. They both require concentration. Oh, what the fuck! So she will haul out her lyre and cast hypnotic pattern on the group closest to us. 30-foot cube. They do a wisdom saving throw because she's using the lyre at disadvantage. And can I target? Wait, let me just target this, guys. T. Sorry. We're learning how to do this. Cast spell. And let's see if we can get as many of them as possibly hypnotized.
Yeah, you've managed to get this whole group, and with a wisdom save of 6.
Yeah. So she's going to, if you allow me for cinematic effect, she's going to walk through them, take one guy's tankard, chuck it over the guy next to him's head, drink one guy's tankard, and just draw, like with the finger mud, a little moustache on one of the women's face, because they're all sort of looking up and they're hypnotized. And she will then just make her way across to the longhouse.
Yeah, exactly as that is. You slip through this crowd absolutely unimpeded.
Okay, I must do a wisdom saving throw against my own spell, apparently, because I'm in the template. I do survive it. And I don't seem to be able to move myself. Yeah, I don't know what I did there.
I think you're on the measurement tool.
I may be. Right. No. Delete that. And I will move myself next to it. No, machine. It's not what I want to do.
It might be because you're stuck under the
There we
hole.
go. And yeah, just sort of wink and wave at the giant as she walks past him. You okay? Does she speak giant?
Yeah, you see him waving a massive hand with a fresh bar stool in the other, as he just throws it down into the crowd.
Yeah, as long as he's having fun, that's and not killing too many people.
Yeah, you see a big grin across his face. He's looking like he's enjoying himself.
Fabulous. We should actually send him a barrel of mammoth milk with alcohol in from the Goliaths.
Oh yeah, actually, he's probably got a massive hunk of cheese next to him as well that he's been picking off of. I'm sure those are the friends he's been making at the party. As you walk past, you see Gorm and a Grung busy talking to some people just in the middle of the party. Like, they also don't seem to be getting involved in the madness on either side of it.
Okay, so that's my turn. Still playing the lyre and maintaining. Just makes her way to the longhouse. Protect the food. That's the mission.
Okay, so there is a Barstool coming with me.
Holy shit.
For
God,
7.
the bad, the shit. I taunt the fucker.
And I mean, yeah, they haven't even noticed Sage, so Yorman, one coming in. Actually, no, this is a broken bottle. Where they're getting bottles, I'm not entirely sure. It's the broken drinking horn. It's a wooden tank that's been smashed on the head. Yeah, to no effect. So, Camilla, we go to you.
Yes. And I think, no, not gonna go that way. So, I go up to the wall and just climb. Why go through the problem when you can go behind the problem?
You really have been playing too much Spider-Man.
Hey, pray I do not start doing the thing I did in Spider-Man, because then all your enemies are gonna be like, oh, they don't even see me. I'm just stealthing there, and it takes like, oh yeah. And yes, guys, 5 minutes later, yes, my turn is done. All enemies are now picked up in like spider webs.
Yeah, I mean, seems fitting for Camilla. But yeah, you managed to sneak over there just as everyone else is making their way through. Is that going to be your turn?
Yeah.
Okay, then on the inside you will hear the fight breaking out even more as I lost connection. One sec. Okay, yeah. So at the top of the round, those are the hordes inside. So
It's my turn.
yeah, Artrax. It's you.
Nice. Okay, so the guys that are right behind Atrax will see him kind of taking like going a bit up The door is open to the longhouse.
Yeah, you'll see a big set of double doors and part of that fight sort of spilling out of them in front of you.
So what I would like to do is to go a bit even higher, and then rage as a bonus action, and then just dive in, trying to kind of knock everybody else down as a bowling ball with the pins or whatever they called.
Hell yes. So you can make your attack with advantage.
Okay. So first thing, I will just move myself a bit. And then with advantage, just give me a sec. Character sheet.
You can also
Uh,
hover
ag-
over the thing you're trying to hit with and press T to target it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You may need to
So-
actually be in melee range to hit it, but you should be able to get there with your movement.
Okay, let me move it myself first. So I would go here. And then I pressed T. Okay. So it should have. Okay. I think it's rage first. Usability.
I think you may have pressed the damage just for it to activate.
Oh,
it will just
yeah.
it will just be your 2 rage damage or whatever it is. There we go. Now it should add it to your.
Yeah. And then I go for an unarmed strike.
Oh, wait. It applied rage to that.
Attack. Normal. Ooh. Normal. Did I do it right or?
I think so. Yeah. I'm seeing 4 damage there.
Yeah. It should be
on the
6
rage, yeah.
though. It should be 6.
Yeah, they have taken the 6.
That's one strike. And as so can I describe it a bit how it happened?
Yeah, please do.
So you see, as I said, I tried going a bit up with his wing boots and then just placing himself in a way that he would dive in as if he would dive in the water, but just kind of protecting his face with both of his arms before he goes in the crowd. And as he kind of rolls around after he hits the first few people, he gets up and tries to kind of hit again a few of the other guys just to make sure that they break it off a bit sooner rather than later. So that will be my second attack, because I do have multi-attack or extra attack. So give me a sec. Attack, normal, and that's fake. I love the sounds.
So as you dive through the crowd and kind of barrel through them, what you don't see is the actual barrels that are behind them, and you go knocking a bunch of them into a kind of barrel of water that spills everywhere, and the whole fight is going to stop around you as you kind of miss with your next swipe because everyone stopped. Everyone stops to make sure that it wasn't the meat barrel, but someone shouts, "It was just the water," and the fight breaks out again.
Okay. That's me.
Okay, Mikil, still outside. What do you do?
Still fighting.
Hell yes. You are
I'm-
technically flanking with your allies at the moment, so
Holy shit.
Flanking a swarm of 20 people.
I don't know if you
Incredible.
can do that, but hey.
We try again.
They're all looking at the giant wolf, and you see some opportunity.
Unfortunately, I'm rolling shit, but that hits. Yes. Okay.
Imagine it's horribly hard to hit drunk Vikings.
Ugh.
What was the fighting style that involved being drunk? I don't remember.
Monk.
Drunken master.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
wrong campaign for Jackie Chan.
I think
But yeah,
most.
some people are making their best go at Drunken Master right now. The master part they might be failing at.
The true Scandinavian experience. That's my turn.
Cool. Yeah, what does it look like as you manage to knock a few heads?
So I'm going for a sucker punch, and I miss the guy I'm trying to hit. So then I turn around, extend my left hand, and just hit someone in the side of the chin or in the side of the face. I guess I'm turning around. Get proper rotation on that bitch.
Yeah, you will see a Bastille come flying at you in retaliation, but even with an 18, you manage to avoid it. Camilla, a rogue dart comes flying at you. That misses. As Yeoman, you can now see the fight. You've just seen the Leonin dive in through the doorway. What would you like to do?
You know what? The same thing. What up, Tiger? That's all I'm. That's as much as I can move. You know what? I'll dash and find myself a seat.
I mean, I will say you would be able to get within range if you wanted to attack that one with your 30 feet. But yeah, with the dash, you can go join the dwarves there that are trying very hard not to spill their drinks as things get thrown around the tavern.
Yep, so he'll sit down, have a look around, and go. Right, I sit on the other side of the hall as he turns around and looks at the empty bench. Nobby
They all
is
turn to you, Godman! Hey, good to see you! They start kind of grabbing onto you, not wanting to let you go as they all start trying to share stories about the battles and what they saw you do.
You're a human.
Yeah, I mean, we are still in initiative order, so you will, the dwarves will kind of try and pour you a drink and dodge some things being thrown across the tables as they congratulate you on the victory.
How sweet. Yeah, Yeoman will just soak it all up. That'll be his turn.
Okay, Saga.
I would like to continue moving. Let me. Okay, this is as far as I can go. Normally. So I guess I'm gonna dash.
You can move through that swarm, and yeah, if you want to do that without without them attacking you, you can try and make another stealth check if you want. But
Okay.
otherwise, yeah, you can also try and clear the way. They are kind of blocking up the whole entrance.
I assume that works.
Holy
Oh, yeah.
shit. Okay.
Okay, that's it for me then.
Oh yes, pass without a trace. I'm like, How are we rolling 36s? Good lord. Okay, yeah. So are you climbing up onto the table there, or are you just trying to maneuver your way around?
Oh, I'm just maneuvering. I guess I'll like take a seat there casually as I wait for the initiative order to come back to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say we can. It's not that big a deal. You can move to where you want to be, sort of seated at that table, as Yormund, without even someone is sitting at this table that you didn't even notice before. Okay, well, currently you're sitting in the same place as Yormund.
Trying to be my second skin.
It's like Yormund looks across the table and the two dwarves are trying to tell the stories to someone who's never even seen it. No, I'm Yormund.
Yeah, Yeoman will just see Sage and just eyes widen for a second, like, oh, hello. But I think the dwarves are stealing the show for the moment.
She waves and then goes back to, I guess, chilling.
Zoning out on Mars.
Yeah, you see someone collapse onto the table next to you, and a small drink come flying and landing on the table just in front of you, like it has been served. Yeah, the chaos does not seem to be affecting Saga at all. But then I think that takes us on to Svenja.
She's just she is going to continue making her way to the door. Would she do this? Yeah, why not? She will be on the side of on the edge of the hall, just looking for someone, and essentially just trying to, smack them on the butt with the spear, with the back end of the spear. Non-lethal damage, I think I have to say.
Yeah, we can assume that well, most of this, other than Shepherd, is non-lethal. There's a pretty still like friendly bar fight happening out here. It's just rough Viking folk doing.
How did I damage myself?
You
Okay.
targeted yourself again somehow. I'll undo the damage. You can just roll.
Okay, let's attack the normal brawl. We're doing are we doing flanking there? Oh yeah.
Good lord, you nearly killed yourself.
So I, visually. So this is the watery spear of Ailsa. And let's break the magic item a little bit. So as she's swinging the spear around, she's essentially using it to create a bit of a mini wave of water and stuff. So, bam, washing them over, tripping them up, or something like that. It does have that thing that says you can lash out with. It's not a water thing. It's a water lash. It's a water lash. So it's the Viking equivalent of a fire hose turned on the mob.
Yeah, and with that, having hypnotized half of them and sort of calmed that situation, how do you wipe out the rest of this mob outside?
There's just water everywhere, spraying. They slipping, falling, almost like that domino effect. When pulling on each other as they fall, grabbing the person next to them. So half of them end up on their knees and on their asses, and I'd like to think that the skilled Vikings amongst them managed to fall to their knees without spilling much of their mead, and laughing at each other.
And that exactly, yeah, you hear laughter from the mud that has just got all of these Vikings sprawled out across it, and you've got a clear path up to the tavern where you can still hear some chaos happening in there.
Okay, yeah, so she had used the movement to get next to the mob. That would be the end of her turn.
Okay, then Camilla, we go to you.
It is time. Nope, I am what? I am on the token tool, but for some reason.
Oh, sorry, it's because it was on the dead token's turn. My bad.
Ah, that explains it. Oh yeah. Just moving there. In the crowd. Just seeing if I can find some... What you call that thing, like, you know, a raft, or whatever it's called, you know. The thing that you normally... Yeah, it is called a raft.
Rafters, yeah.
Yeah, rafters. Just gonna climb up there, avoiding the crowd. Finding a rope and swinging down. Just swinging down. And I guess just trying to see if I can land directly here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's come in like the girl from the Grudge. But yeah, you plop down onto the table just as these dwarves are gushing over Yorman. They'll cheer as well when they see you just Camilla. They will start raving at you as well.
Yeah. And then I see there's a tankard that is not being occupied at the moment. Just grabbing that and start choking. Ella choking it. That will be my turn.
Okay. And with that, we'll move on to the brawlers that are still in here, who are going to try and get this Leonin that just dove through them involved.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been the me. $14 on the first one.
Yes.
$12 on the second one.
Yes.
So then you guys that are sitting at the other table, you will see some of that debris come flying your way as Saga, there is a broken bottle flying at you again. For a 6. And Kamala, there is a dart flying at you. A natural 1. So, Artax, you're up.
Atrax.
Artax, right on. One day.
One day,
This
one
always
day,
happens.
don't worry.
There's always one character. Whoever I was mixing up before, I'll start getting right now. But yeah, that's right.
I think I should have been placed in the center of the big token before, because
Yeah, there we go.
I would have ended up somewhere around there exactly. Well, Atrax, since he's now the target of everybody else, he'll just try to knock them out as soon as possible. In the fight, I mean, in the brawl. So unarmed strike, keep on raging, nothing else other than that for now. Give me 1 second. I think it's targeted. Yeah, it is targeted. Okay, so
Are you using just a normal unarmed strike, or are you using your claws? Because I think you can do a bit more
I
damage.
would
with
I
armor.
wouldn't use my claws on this one because they can do some damage. So I'm just trying to knock everybody out. I'm not sure if I can do what's it called, non-lethal with my claws.
Yeah, look, I would usually say that only bludgeoning and lightning damage can be non-lethal, but in this case, I mean, we understand that you're doing it non-lethally. This is, if you keep rolling the lower damage, this is going to take even longer. So you can roll the higher
Okay,
damage. And we
so
can just say that
I'll go with claws then. Sorry, that was just a misclick with an unarmed strike.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, you obviously you can roll it how you like, but yeah, we understand that you're not
Trying to kill. Yeah.
murdering these people and ripping them to shreds in
These are Vikings. They like scars, except for Atrax and Svenja, apparently.
Yeah. Okay, so close it is then. Give me a sec. So close and attack. Normal roll. That's a hit though.
It is indeed.
Okay. Second attack. They're still up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Even better. So yeah, I strike whoever I can.
Yeah, what does it look like as you? I mean, this is kind of rule of cool play. What's actually happening inside that swarm? What does it look like?
Okay, so after the two misses with the bar stools, as like one tries to get me from the front, I duck, and at the same time one tries to get me from the back, and they kind of miss. They kind of hit each other with the bar stools at the same time. I take kind of spin around and do like a kick with my boots, and then with my claws I try to swing as wide as possible to get as many people in one hit.
Yeah, and that you do, just knocking out waves of them at a time. As we go to Nikhil, making your way to the tavern, as all the guys in front of you have just been wiped out by the fire hose of Sven.
A shame, but yes, let's make our way inside.
I'll say for brevity's sake, you guys can all have double movement at this point,
Okay, cool.
because the combat outside has ended.
Oh wait, it was stupid. My movement. Whatever. I'm just gonna dash the last bit of distance. Just,
We can say you
get-
turned that corner. You don't have to.
Okay, yeah.
Like, you can take back a few steps.
All right. And then fuck it, we fight again. Mikhail is in a very fighting happy mood right now. He woke up and chose violence.
Also, if you want to use your weapons to like get the damage, you can flavor it however you like. But because I don't think you've got any actual bonuses to just punches.
I do not, sadly.
But I mean, if you want to describe it as an unarmed or like I mean that definitely hits. But if you want to describe like using the stuff in the tavern brawl, like picking up a piece of wood there from next to you and battering them with that, and rolling CX damage, we can do that.
True. Yeah, so the first attack is just gonna be him sucker punching, and the next one, I want to grab the new stool, just try and one hand just swing on into someone like a hammer. So should I just do an unarmed attack for that as well?
No, you can make a weapon attack for that one. When the blacksmith decides that you're the anvil and this piece of whatever he's holding is the hammer, it's going to be bad for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm just gonna use the. I'll use the CX for the attack. Okay, that's a 21.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
Okay, what's the damage?
Your CX damage, you can just roll
Oh,
that
okay.
like a normal attack.
Oh, okay. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Yeah, so you start clobbering people with this piece of wood and just sending them flying backwards as Yormund, you see now the Leonin and Mikil working their way through the entrances. It is your turn. Would you like to do anything?
You know what? Yorman's just going to share his side of the story, what he's done so far, the battles of his units, the hounds. Meanwhile, Shepard is literally just going to go around greeting everyone, by which I mean sniffing and occasionally barking.
I thought you meant mauling.
No.
Okay, yeah, look, Shepard will be getting lots of treats as
Yeah, I barely need to feed him anymore. Everyone else does it already.
So yeah, that's your turn.
Yep, that's all I'm doing.
Okay, Saga, as you sit here, the air is thick with the savory scent of roasted meats and freshly baked bread. There are barrels of mead and ale flowing freely as the fight is continuing, and at the heart of this, you are sitting now in front of some massive feast tables that actually groan under the weight of the dishes that are laden with roasted boar, venison, and fish caught from nearby streams, berries and herbs picked from the wilds to accent the dishes. It looks like quite a feast in here.
I will start chowing down. And nothing else. It looks like you guys have everything taken care of.
Yeah, you just subtly slide a plate away from the dwarf next to you who's readied up a nice meal and dig in as he seems quite preoccupied with these two celebrities that have joined your table apparently.
Excellent.
You can give me a perception check though as you are digging in. Ooh, my word. So as you start eating, you will take a look around and see that even those in the fight, they are all wearing their finest furs and armor, their faces adorned with intricate runes and symbols. And you can see at the end of the hall, you see the Jarl slowly sort of standing to his feet as he seems like he's about to try and address the room. But you can see him kind of looking over everyone that's fighting with slight annoyance on his face.
I see. Noted.
Then Svenja from the outside. What do you do?
Okay, so using a double allowance, she'll probably walk up to the door and kind of just stand next to. Yeah, so Mikkel's been whacking people with whatever he can pick, something like that. Do we? Yeah, we do want to break this up. I think she will. I want to do something different here, though. Why not? She will cast Fairy Fire on this in there, so that they all glow. Target them. Oh, they're near death. Waste of a spell slot. It's fun. Fairy Fire has it targeted them now. Why can't I see them?
Yeah, that's okay. We don't have to worry about it. It's a deck save, right? They rolled a 4, so yeah, they are all of those that are still standing now start glowing with this sort of prismatic flame.
Yeah, except well, even Atrax. Is he glowing? What is that?
I need to roll.
Yeah, you can do.
It would have asked you to, I think.
Should see a prompt there in the chat.
Yeah. And I failed.
But you're also surrounded in. What is the color today? The color today is very bluish color, very similar to the dress that she's wearing. So, and she just sort of kind of lean on this, not lean on the spear, but with her one hand on the spear, she put the other hand on her wrist and just put her chin on it and just watch the chaos unfold in front of her, next to Mikkel. And that's my turn.
Okay, nice. Camilla, are you going to do anything?
Well, since I have a cup, and I see there is something else there, I'm just starting juggling that stuff, hoping that someone gets the hint. And in worst case, oh well, it just adds to the chaos.
Sorry, I'm lagging a bit. But did you say you're juggling?
Yes, juggling.
Okay, you can give me a performance check. Okay, yeah, the dwarves start chanting. A couple of the people from the other fight kind of get like distracted. Some of them taking punches because they were distracted, but others just stopping and pointing at you. And some of them give up fighting, start pouring each other some drinks. As a but yeah, you seem to have distracted many of them.
That's perfect. The plan is working. On to the fight.
Okay, so these guys that are all glowing now, they are going to attack once against Mikil, once against Atrax.
Mm-hmm.
They've got advantage from the fairy fire, but they get a 50.
Miss.
And a 15 against Mikil. But these guys. Yeah, they keep on going. But yeah, Atrax, that takes us to you.
Okay. You said something about using the weapons as if we like carry them, but not really, and we can use them to deal more damage.
Yeah. Just to speed
Okay.
things up, really, because yeah,
Yeah,
forgot
yeah,
that
yeah,
everyone's
definitely.
unarmed strikes are not actually like.
Yeah. Okay,
And you are
I will do
attacking at
that.
advantage.
Yes, good point. So I'll keep on attacking the guy. Let's say I'll just kind of grab one of the bar stools that was thrown at me and try to hit as many people as possible with one spring, and then we'll see what happens. I would use the great sword advantage. I think that's hits and damage.
How do you want to do it? Oh wait, you brought it. Huh? It only did half damage for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because
It's
it's
been doing that.
slashing, maybe.
No, it's been
Oh
doing
no,
that
they're
all along.
resistant. It's because they're resistant to bludgeoning and piercing and slashing. I forgot about that.
Mm.
But that I don't think that adds your rage. No, it does. So that's one attack, and you can see there's one guy left that he's kind of just lying on the ground, looking up at you and shaking his hands like, no, please, please. But yeah, he's been asking for it.
So it's done. The fight broke up.
He's got 1 hit point left.
Ah,
can
okay.
feel that finishing blow.
Okay, yeah, finishing move. Great sword, Bartle to the face or to the chest. Let's say to the chest. Okay. So, and then Atrax will just kind of look at himself glow as after he drops the Bartle after he hit the last man standing. I mean, he's the last man standing in that one right now. But still, does he realize what happened? Like he got a spell on him from Svenja, or he was too taken like by the fight that he could not realize what's going on.
Yeah, you would notice that you're glowing and that you feel no desire to really attack her. Oh no, that's the other charm. So yeah, you would notice that you're glowing and that she's standing there watching the fight.
I would just kind of nod to her and say, "Nice trick." And with all my speed, I would, well, I would go around this fight. Actually, I wouldn't want to go inside anymore because I don't want to leave a bad impression on the arm. But too much of a bad impression already. I was wondering, could I actually go near them and do a daunting roar? Because it's a bonus action, and I haven't used my bonus action since the rage.
You absolutely can. That may even be enough to get them to give up the fight.
Okay, so let me go near. I mean, I will go a bit in. And then just let me put it in the chat. They need to make I think it's wisdom saving throw. I forgot to. Sorry.
It's fair.
Forgot
I
to
was.
target.
That's okay. They roll the 4.
Okay.
Yes. So I'll say with this, that will be enough to basically intimidate them all into stopping the fight. So how do you roar and break this whole thing?
So as he nods and says a nice trick towards Svenja, he rushes in, seeing that they're kind of not stopping, even pursuing further the violence, and he would just kind of do the bowling thing to like trying to smash it into the pit fight, but as he sees he doesn't have the strength or the speed anymore, he just realizes that he may have need to use his voice or his inner voice, and he just kind of roars as much as loud as he can, trying to shake them a bit by by his ability to roar. Sorry, that was a bit long.
There you see one guy screeching and jumping into the fire as they all just scatter in every different direction, and the Jarl who you saw just starting to get a bit impatient, he just looks at you and gives you a respectful nod of thanks, like he was about to try and break it up himself, but you have taken care of it.
Oh,
As yeah, we are out of combat.
nice. That was fun.
I'm gonna switch over the music, but yeah, everyone is now able to move freely and
I'm gonna try and sit on one of the benches, maybe a bit closer to the yard.
Shepard is very interested by this new animal coming in and throwing out his own howl.
Nice. What does Shepard want to do? Like, does he approach in a friendly manner, or
Roll a insight check for animal handling. I think either or is fair enough.
okay? Give me 1 second. Where are you? Insight. No. Ah, I have no idea.
You can't quite tell. He's not baring his teeth or anything, but you don't know if that's about to change. Yeah, he's just approaching you, just looking at you, and gives you a sniff and howls
I
right
would
in your face.
Oh, okay. Atrax would actually kind of grab a piece of charred meat from one of the plates, maybe, and try to make friends with him, offer him a treat.
Quite predictably, Shepard is delighted at this prospect. And after devouring the meat, will start licking your hands in show of friendship.
And Atrax will just kind of, pet his head a bit and will turn towards. After that, he will say, "We have to pay attention now. Somebody's about to speak," and points toward the Jarl.
And as you throw it to the Jarl, you see him kind of laughing and saying, "Well, I hope that everyone has had their fun. I must commend you all, although that display was quite something. You have all fought with great bravery and valor, and I applaud you all, our new allies, and our new heroes of Braudovik." And he looks at you lot as you are kind of in the entrance still there, and he makes eye contact with each of you as he raises a horn, and you will see Odir, the Shield Maiden, come in and stand next to him, sort of for this address. As the two of them stand up there, he will congratulate everyone that has fought and won, and he will say, "Today we stood against a mighty army brought here by one of the gods' chosen ones. He brought
allies from all over the coast, and they could not even reach our walls thanks to your bravery, thanks to all of your skill, and even thanks to some of your cooking. Huh? And he gestures to the bakers and all of them that have been hard at work for the making this feast. All kind of give him a tired wave. But he will turn and point out to you where he sees that some of you are gathered. And he'll say, and as a performance like today deserves, our young warriors, some new and some old, will be granted what are titles here in Braudevik. I know we haven't really done this too much before, but I think they have earned this honor, and I would like to name the Slayer of Aelson herself. Svenja, please stand up. And he kind of, you see him trying to get all of the attention on you here.
Yeah, she will get up and sort of stand on the table. Stand up on. Is there space on the table? No, it's laden with. She'll just sort of stand up and walk into the aisle, kind of stepping over. Can she Shepherd is the side of the pony, so she can't actually step over it. Just try and squeeze past him.
Yeah, Shepherd will just like gingerly back up.
And what is the protocol here? Would you need to walk up? No, she'll just stand in the aisle and nod.
He will say with his horn raised, Svenja, I name you the Valkyrie Skald of Braudevik. And as he raises a glass, you'll hear the whole tavern chanting Skull, and all of them cheering you on, as he seems to be like ready to go through all of you who are going to be getting this sort of promotion, and he seems to be trying to find you through the crowds, but that's kind of why he's asking you to stand as well.
So she'll just point out to the dwarven table at the back, where the rest of the drunken rabble is sitting. They're over there. Yell.
He will point over to that table and say, and yes, Camilla, one that I must admit I didn't have all that much hope for, but my lords, the gods have smiled on you today, Camilla. You have fought incredibly well, and I'm glad to see that your training is paying off. And Oda will raise her horn and say, and to you, Camilla, after Henrik's little accident, and you'll see Henrik sitting with holding a stub of an arm, and he kind of gives you a wave that you know he can't wield two blades, at least the way he is right now. But you will see her say, we name you the Blade of Braudevik to recognize your martial prowess. Well done. Skulls all around.
Thunderous applause.
Yeah.
So beckon, would sort of beckon Camilla over, like, come here, come. And make me come and fetch you.
So yeah, as you guys get kind of swarmed, people patting you on the back and cheering, he'll continue gesturing to the massive wolf, and where is Jormungand? Oh, they're together. Yeah. So he gestures back to the table, and Odin will carry on and say, "And to my own son, not as much of a surprise, but you have done well today, my boy. And for this, we name you the Wolf of Braudavik, and we hope it will confuse many people." Skull.
Exactly as I hoped. And he'll just lift his horn.
And again, roaring cheers from the tavern as Shepard lets out a howl, seemingly well aware of the honor that you have just received. But these are also, I should say, the titles are, you are welcome to sort of customize the way that these are named. That is kind of up to you how you want to be known from Braudavik, but this is just Bial and Oda's sort of ideas. And with that, sorry,
No, sorry, I was just stretching.
so he'll then move on to Mikil, who he sees. He's like, "I see you hiding there in the corner, Mikil. But today, if we had not had that war machine that you built us, raining down hell on our enemies, I don't think we could have held our own as well as we did. So, Skull, to the Smeeder of Braudavik."
So,
I don't know if you're cheering or yawning.
No,
a bit of both.
just one cheer.
Do we need to go up to the podium? Fuck it.
It seems all your friends are kind of gathering
I gotta
or
join
near
the
the
crowd.
food, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Yorman's
not
just
what-
like, no, Svenja wanted us to come here.
So you
Hasn't
guys just
worked out,
dancing
like-
by the firelight, like all arms around each other, kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kumbaya.
That's what it is, like, I just do a slight bow and then I'm just doing what I do best, y'all.
Yorman's title, sorry, Dev, you blinked out there for a moment.
The Smeeder of Braudavik.
Ah, Smeeder. Okay.
And then, as I'm sure all of us here at the Longhouse have gotten well used to hearing the exploits of this bunch over the years, we have some new friends that have joined us and fought equally as well in both the battlefield and in the shadows. As I would like to first, for the first time in, well, perhaps ever, welcome one of our greatest mischief makers, shall we call her, Saga, the legendary shadow. And he raises a horn, and everyone in the tavern just kind of looks around, like they're not even sure where he's pointing, but he still seems to be looking at the same table.
She will do nothing to identify herself, simply continue eating.
Yes, there's like murmurs around the crowd as they're all like waiting for someone to join the rest. And the dwarf sitting next to you points to himself like, "Me? I'm not the shadow." The Jarl kind of bites his tongue and goes, "Well, perhaps I shouldn't have shared the name, but I name you Mischief Weaver of Braudavik. We could not have done this without your assistance on the other side, and your ravens proved invaluable in gathering everyone you see here today. So while you may not be recognized for it, know that you are appreciated for it." Yeah, again, it's a little bit tentative at first, but eventually the whole longhouse is erupting with cheers.
Okay, so can we now eventually figure out who Saga is?
I mean, you can give me a perception check, but I'll say, Saga, you can make a deception check to keep yourself sort of unannounced, as the Jarl is probably the only person in here that actually can recognize you.
All right.
Yeah, so you look right at her, and it's like you're pretty sure the Jarl was pointing directly at her, but you've never seen her before either. So it's up to you how you interpret that, but it's pretty blatantly obvious who he was pointing to. She's just played it really cool.
Look, I can respect and appreciate someone who plays it that cool and is entirely capable of ignoring the Jarl completely. So like raise an eyebrow in recognition with I'm coming to talk to you later, but I won't blow your cover right now kind of look, and turn back to the Jarl and sort of do like a shruggy what look.
Yeah, and as you do, he continues and looks down to his right, to the table right next to him, and he says, "And to my own son, you stayed here and protected the longhouse while all the battles were going on down at the beach. This is, of course, a very important job." And you see him kind of like glancing at his wife and the other chair, who's just giving him a glare like, better give him some recognition, as you see a less combat ready looking guy sitting at the table sulking like a teenager, and he says, "I hope that your title will come to be put to good use," as he kind of glosses over that, and you can see he doesn't seem too happy with his son despite giving him this honor, and instead turns his attention and catches eyes with you, Atrax, and he says, "And you, I'm sure I have seen you somewhere before. I'm not sure we've ever formally met, but I know your name, Atrax. You, to see you on the battlefield amongst our warriors brought me great joy, and I must thank the Seder Tower for sending such valiant warriors to join us. If you would have us, my friend, I would name you the roaring war chief of one of our new Viking bands that will be going raiding these summers." And he raises a horn to you as well.
And Atrax will raise a horn of ale as well, and move a bit to the left. Just give us a sec. Thank you. The honor is all mine.
You will hear the eruption of cheers again, and the Jarl will continue on to name Gorm as well, who is obviously not with us at the moment, but he will get a likewise huge reception, and you'll see him celebrating with his father on the other side of the tavern, as he is named Nordic word. I can't remember, so we'll get to that when he rejoins.
Donka Donka.
Don't think that was the one.
No, that's Swedish for party.
Oh, well, I mean, that's basically what he will announce here next, as you are all congratulated and and he will say, "Now, enough of the fighting, enough of all of these accolades. It is time to eat, drink, and be merry. And I thank you all for being here with us. I hope you will all stay and trade and raid with us in the coming seasons. Skull." And everyone will give a cheers and start digging into the feast as the music starts playing, as Kodrum has arrived on his drum, and people here will be dancing late into the night. The Jarl will, however, after that, he will make to you guys that have just been given these titles, he'll kind of wave over to you a little later in the night and ask you to join him in the room at the back of the longhouse. But there is no rush to do that. You guys now go into the feast, and yeah, it's up to you what you would like to do.
Okay. So Svenja would definitely somewhere a little bit later sit down next to Saga and introduce herself formally. And yeah, she would be inquiring about the ravens because she has been noticing ravens watching all along, which she was Odin's ravens. Yeah, so she'll just sort of try and fish curiously about what Saga has been doing.
So I think backstory wise, she definitely is more of like a wanderer, and she's known to like show up randomly after like a lot of people die in battle. Just because she likes she's primarily a scavenger is how she survives. With the ravens, she's kind of like a bit of a spy master, I would say. Um the ravens, however, are not like necessarily divine in nature.
Okay, so they kind of just trained like carrier pigeons almost.
Yeah, essentially.
Also, that's a pretty normal thing in like to send messages via Raven is it's kind of like the D&D, like the sending stone sort of
Yeah.
equivalent.
Okay.
But yeah, the title that you've just been given is essentially the Spy Master. But yeah, Mischief Weaver feels a little more appropriate.
No, I do absolutely like that. I do like the title. I mean, I'm guessing it's part of Saga's work that we found out other confirmation of the raids coming and so forth. So if it appears that Saga is going to stick around or would work with us, that would be Svenja would try and sway her mind if she's not sure about it. So like, stick around for a bit. It could be interesting and it'd be fun having you around. Yeah, and I guess for the
I
rest,
mean,
yeah,
this
sorry.
seems like a rather interesting group, so she's down to stick around.
Yeah, look, as if hanging around and looking for things, scavenge or pick up interesting things, or just going around to have fun, I would tempt you with that. The gods do seem to have taken a bit of an unusual getting us to the Asgardian games, and that would be a thing to experience. So kind of high on Svenja's top of mindness right now. Is this local? And I think just for flavor's sake, the other thing that you do, like play with Codron and sing and dance and essentially just add fuel to the having a great time fire of the party for herself and for everybody. So her inner extrovert in full flow tonight. Okay, sound check. Anybody else out there?
No.
Yep. No, yep, that's right. You've been talking to yourself for the last 10 minutes.
We're actually all just a figment of your imagination.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you.
That's okay.
I hate it when that happens.
It's Tuesday again.
Yeah, so as I mean, the feast continues late into the night, but you would know that the Jarl is kind of trying to beckon you all to join him in the war room, which is also where he sleeps sometimes when Laura's kicked him out of the house. But if you guys would like to join him there, we can go into the new system that we will be starting on, because I know we are kind of coming to the end of the session here. But I think now that you have gotten your titles, which obviously for the two new players, I will still have to flesh out what that actually means. For some of you, I might have done it already. I'm going to show you. Let me just give everyone ownership. Okay, so if you go into the actors directory on the right and you look under domains, you should see Braudavik there.
Yes.
Now, this is going to be the stat block for the town itself, which essentially anytime you want to interact with the NPCs of this town, maybe get them to do something, maybe you're looking for intel, whatever it is, if you personally aren't doing it but you're ordering NPCs to go and do it, this is the stat block that you'll be using. And it gets more complicated than that, but we're not going to get into all of it right now. Just the thing to note is that you guys are the officers of this domain, and most of the other places you're going to interact with in the world also have a stat sheet like this. So if you want to learn something about a place, you might roll an espionage check to go and find some intel, or maybe sow some discord if you want to try and start a rebellion in some other place. There's a lot of things you can use these for. But for instance, that would fall to the spy master to, like, you would be in charge of doing those kinds of things. So you guys now have some authority to be issuing these orders, and this is where that is represented. And if you look in the downtime section, you'll see all the sort of buildings and things that are in Braudavik's domain that you guys have at your disposal. So everything from the blacksmith to your longship. You are getting ready to sail, and these are going to be things that this is where you get all your extra stuff from, like towers you can use to learn new spells, keeps you can use to raise armies, temples you can use to like commune with the gods. And even though I know they aren't actual Nordic temples, but a temple could be a druid's grove or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. I'm not sure where to sort of start explaining. But the main thing is the titles that you just got. You should be able to go into offices and see yourself there, and you will get a little feature there just for being the officer of Broadway. I think I've got most of you on there. Just obviously not Saga and Ultrax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still need to. Steersman is the word I forgot. Wow, it's because I looked it up in North. But yeah, so Gorms I have to finish and odors, but you guys can read through the little new feature that you get there, and I will try and add them to your character sheet now during the week. And you also all get access to, on the stats menu, you'll see there are 2 powers, maybe 3.
3.
This thing is easier to read if you pop it out, if it's not scrolling is terrible.
Oh.
So where it talks about power dice, what happens is basically whenever you roll for initiative against an enemy domain, everyone rolls a dice that is currently a d6 because you have a small settlement, and as your settlement gets bigger, the bigger that dice will get. But you basically everyone rolls a dice at the beginning of initiative, and those all go into a pool that I'm still figuring out a way to actually represent, but we'll probably just use the party resources thing. And then those can be used to like this ability. The gods have given you a few things that you can summon from some of the allies that you have. So you would be able to roll that d6 and then potentially summon a creature of up to CR6. Whereas once you become like a full city size, like the size of the capital where the king is, you might have a d20 that you're rolling, and you could be summoning CR20 creatures.
So is this favor of the gods at the group level, not an individual player? Else we're gonna have like hordes of summons to deal with.
No, it is at for the individual player, but it is you take the dice from a pool, so there's only ever going to be as many dice as there are players, and I think it takes a while to recharge these things. So
Okay.
I think you can only use one of those powers like per player. I think you can only use those once in a week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, once in every 10 days.
Okay. Makes sense.
I'll review the rules again just to make sure. But these come from Kingdoms and Warfare. That's the main thing. So if you want to read through the actual rules, there is a pinned comment in the Mordia campaign to any flip. That's where I'm reading the rules as well. It's going to be one of those things that's much easier to pick up as we go along.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But to give you an idea, this is where I'm going to change the map to show you the map that is now open to you and that you can explore. And that's basically the decision now is when you go and have your little conversation with the Jarl, he will explain to you that Braudavik this has been great, but all these armies are going to cost an arm and a leg. And, well, this coming winter, if we haven't done some raiding, there's a good chance we may lose a few arms and legs. So we're going to need you, now that you have a longship, we're going to need you to go out there, raid, trade, pillage, do whatever you have to do. You now have the authority, but we need some money before winter, and summer starts in a couple of days, so
And this is where we get trapped into the capitalism slavery. Now I have jobs.
It's only a trap if you don't like it.
Or if you're named Astolfo.
I'm having
Nikhil's been working a 9 to 5 this whole campaign. I don't know what to do.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing only black on the map. It's I probably have to reload.
Do you have access to any other maps? Because I've realized sometimes when that happens, if you just switch back and forth,
Yeah.
Broudevik military management.
yeah, just if you can open that and then go back over, should work. Yeah, I haven't put all the factions down just yet, as I have made like over 100 different domains and factions that you guys could potentially interact with. But essentially, looking at this map, every one of those tokens has got its own like area of influence. That's a domain unto itself. So if you go into their territory, you're likely to encounter that faction. You know, if you end up at war with one of them, that those things are going to matter a lot. But as much as you now have control from Browdervik's point of view, as I said, those are only if NPCs are doing things. That's only if you're sending another spy to go and spy on an organization, then you roll your espionage. But if Saga wants to go and do the spying herself, that's normal D&D. We're like, we go on the adventure and you go and do the thing. And Browdervik is there in the middle, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, we'll try next time. Excellent.
Yeah, so before we wrap up, basically the three options that, sorry, I'm kind of rushing through the end of it, but he will say, essentially there are three places we can look for all this gold and glory. We could explore Mordia, you know, raid, explore, trade in the lands, rivers, and along the coastline. There are many allies we could forge here, a lot of bad blood that may need fixing, but many resources and treasures out there. I know the giant, he was saying that he wants to go to Browder. He says he wants to check up on his old family there, but you can speak to him about that after the party. There is, of course, I know some of you are a little adventurous, and venturing to the dangerous land of giants in the west may appeal to you. Legends speak of hidden treasures in the frozen mountain fortresses of Jotunheim, but I should warn you, it is perhaps one of the most dangerous journeys you could undertake. Though there is a small settlement that is friendly to small folk called Velbil, that is just on the coast of Jotunheim. Otherwise, Ufarta to the north is a place you can get smuggled in across the river. They are pretty good at it, but none of the options are really without danger. You are likely to encounter giants. And then option number 3 is the journey to Muspelheim. If you sail east, you could potentially engage with the Bizerian Empire and their draconic rulers. For every dragon that is out there, there is also a dragon lair filled with wealth and treasures beyond our wildest imaginations. But of course, the dragons need to be dealt with first. So I leave it to you. How brave are you feeling? And which way should I be
Giants.
sending my son?
Your son? Flostovic?
I mean, Flostovic has kind of pissed me off a little, but I think they've probably gotten the message. And without Ailson around, I'm sure they wouldn't try something so stupid again. In fact, I think that that little alliance between Rand's Palace, Flostovic, and Skakatoka, I think we may have actually broken it up quite a bit. You will have to see when you set sail what's going on in the bay, but I get the impression they are not going to be able to talk so well anymore without Ailson's help.
Atrax will try to speak for a bit, saying, well, out of the three options, the most appealing to me would be that of the East. I've never seen dragons, but I've heard about their beauty and ferociousness at the same time. It does sound like they would be the most, well, difficult and honorable to defeat in battle. The world is also a nice touch, but yes, that is my view.
I should also mention you would have seen the skull of a dragon, of a troll, and a few other creatures hanging in the longhouse that were defeated by the party before. Definitely looks like this. The people in Bradovic have seen their fair share of danger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dragon's more luck than skill, I think, but
I'm more than happy to go east. Although, truth be told, I wonder if it might be a good idea to visit Flostovic. They seem to be in need of new allies. Maybe we can leverage that.
That could also be a wise choice.
So I think, Svenja's probably going to be more interested in dragons just because of the lore that's around. Chance to maybe discover some ancient texts and stories and things like that.
I also feel like to us, dragons wouldn't be as scary as giants.
Well, she's not that scared of giants, actually. Dragon. So that I do also wonder about Flostovic and Sturvik, the licking their wounds. So this might come back to our earlier conversation. Two options there. The one would be to raid them and take them down whilst and the other would be to extend a hand of friendship in a sense, bring them into our domain. I think I would be more inclined towards the hand of friendship. You have smashed yourself to bits and pieces on our shields. Now join us so that you under our protection, as it were.
without Ailson at the helm, someone is sure to also step in to lead. That is who we need to convince. Perhaps it will be easier than it was with the last leader.
We'll just have to go there to find out.
Yeah, so that sounds like our next plan then.
Hmm.
Fabulous.
Okay. So is the plan then to launch your longship and begin your journey by sailing across Serpent Bay, as it's called?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I was thinking for a moment there you were just going to go straight for giants. I was like, it's going to be a short campaign.
No, we've grown attached to these characters, even the objective to Valhalla.
So the only limitation of your longship is that you can't go into the darkest part of the sea yet. You'll need to upgrade it before you can do that. But the ship is also big enough to bring one unit with you. So the ship counts as like a mobile stronghold where you can actually raise allies. Like if you go park in a port, you could, and you need people to fight. You might be able to raise some mercenaries and things like that. So that ship is going to become like your home as soon as you leave. But when we come back next week, we will start with everyone preparing to set sail. As I think you do have some downtime available to you if you want to take that next week. But I think you might want to save your downtime for winter because summer is about to begin and there are many adventures to be had. You don't want to get snowed in.
Yeah. So how does this work? Can Svenja send a crew of dwarves or somebody to the ruined Kraken Priest Tower and start cleaning it out? Do we need to gather resources first?
Yeah, so doing that would be like a downtime activity for the, not for you. Remember, this is for NPCs. So like you can order them to do it, and then that might take them a week, and you carry on doing normal adventuring things. But yeah, then we have to spend points so you can actually develop Browdovik and get the right stats. But we'll do that next week because it's getting late already. But yes, you would then, I think that would be an operations check. But for the ruined fort, oh no, not the fort, the tower. Yeah, you would. It would cost some money. I'll double check the costs next week. But you can start sending some of the dwarves to go and look into that, and that would basically be an operations check. So we will jump into that next week when you've actually spent the points to get the right stats. But yeah, that's essentially how it will work.
Awesome.
And then there is a thing when you go into like conflict with another place where we will roll for intrigue, and it's kind of like rolling for initiative, but that only happens like with initiative when you initiate the combat. When someone throws that first punch, that's when you roll. Until then, you can use all of these abilities kind of as much as you want. It might just take a week to get the result.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you guys very much for the game. Sorry if it was chaotic, but welcome to the 2 new players.